I cheated on my boyfriend of 11 years, but it's not what you think. Okay, I already know people are going to crucify me for this, but I need to get it off my chest. And before anyone jumps straight to the comments with, once a cheater, always a cheater, just listen first, okay? I, 27F, cheated on my boyfriend, 27M. We've been together since we were 16. That's 11 years of my life. 11 years of being the perfect couple everyone envied. Prom dates, college roommates, the broke apartment with the leaky sink, the someday we'll get married promises. Everyone thought we were endgame. Hell, I thought we were endgame. But here's the thing nobody talks about. When you get together at 16, you never really get to figure out who you are without that person. It's like my entire adult identity has been his girlfriend, his plus one, his future wife. And somewhere along the way, I started to suffocate. It wasn't like I woke up one morning and said, you know what would be fun? Betraying the only man who's ever loved me. No, it happened slowly. He was obsessed with his proposal plans, which, by the way, I didn't even know about at the time. He was working late, distracted, always stressed about money, and I felt invisible. Enter Chris. Chris, 29M, works at a co-working space. My job uses sometimes. Tall, funny, outdoorsy, in that dorky Patagonia jacket way. He actually listened to me. Not just the, sure babe, my boyfriend had started doing, but like, real listening. We'd talk for hours about work, books, stupid memes. He made me feel seen in a way I hadn't felt in years. It started as friendship. Swear to God it did. I told myself it was harmless. Everyone has work friends. It's just coffee. It's just a walk after work. But then one night, after a late project, he kissed me. And I kissed him back. I know. I should have stopped it there. I should have gone home, confessed, begged for forgiveness. But I didn't. Because when Chris kissed me, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Excitement. Butterflies. That spark you get when you're 16 and falling in love for the first time. And I realized I hadn't felt that way with my boyfriend in forever. Our relationship had become routine. Netflix, takeout, chores, comfort, but no spark. So I justified it, told myself, it's just a fling. It doesn't mean I don't love him. Everyone deserves to feel alive sometimes. For 3 months, I lived a double life. Loving girlfriend at home, oops, just working late girl with Chris. And I swear I did love my boyfriend. I still do. But it was like I split into two people. One craving stability, the other craving passion. Then came the night everything exploded. I thought I was being careful. I thought I could keep the worlds separate. But he found out. Apparently he followed me one night when I said I was working late, saw me at Chris's apartment, saw us kiss, and instead of confronting me right there, he just drove home. Didn't say a word until later. When he finally confronted me, over spaghetti of all things, I panicked. I laughed. I tried to deny, then I tried to minimize. It's not what you think. It's just a mistake. It doesn't mean anything. Because how do you look the man you've loved since you were 16 in the eye and say, yeah, I betrayed you? You can't. So you scramble, you spin, you grab at any excuse that makes it sound less awful than it is. He wanted answers. How long? Why him? I told him 3 months, which was the truth. But the way he looked at me, like I'd stabbed him. He started laughing. This horrible, bitter laugh. Said it was sitcom-level writing. And maybe it was. The golden boy high school couple ruined by some random guy in a Patagonia jacket. Lifetime movie stuff. I tried to explain. Told him I was confused. That I was scared of marriage. That I didn't know if I wanted forever yet. Which is true. I am scared. 11 years is a long time. But forever? Forever feels like drowning sometimes. He didn't care. He just packed a bag and left. Here's the part nobody will believe. I regret it. Not just because I got caught, but because I hurt him. He's not just my boyfriend. He's my best friend. The person who held me when my grandma died, who stayed up with me when I had panic attacks, who knows every dumb inside joke from high school. Chris doesn't know me like that. He never will. And I think I convinced myself I could have both. Comfort at home, excitement on the side. But life doesn't work like that. Now I'm sitting here in an apartment that suddenly feels too quiet, staring at a phone full of unanswered texts, and wondering how I managed to blow up the only good thing in my life. Yes, I cheated. Yes, I lied. Yes, I deserve the hate. But before everyone calls me a monster, just try to understand. I never stopped loving him. I just forgot how to love him right. And now, I don't know if I'll ever get him back. He confronted me about cheating, and now everyone thinks I'm a monster. So, last time I admitted I cheated on my boyfriend of 11 years. I know, I'm the villain, I get it. But before you decide I should be burned at the stake, you need to hear what actually happened when he found out. Spoiler, it wasn't some big dramatic confrontation where I got caught in the act. It was over a plate of spaghetti. We were eating dinner, just a normal night. I was twirling noodles, talking about TikTok drama, when suddenly he just blurts out, "I know you're cheating on me." No warning, no lead-in, just nuclear bomb straight to my face. I froze. Then I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I panicked. Nervous laughter is my toxic trait. But then he doubled down. Said he saw me at Chris's apartment. Saw us kissing. My stomach dropped. I felt like someone had pulled the floor out from under me. And my first instinct? Deny. 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 It's not what you think. You misunderstood. We're just friends. All the classic BS lines that even I didn't believe. But the way he was looking at me, I knew he knew. So I admitted it. 3 months. That's how long it had been going on. And he laughed. This awful, bitter laugh that didn't sound like him at all. Said it was sitcom-level writing. Compared me to a Lifetime movie. That broke me more than yelling ever could have. I tried to explain. I told him I felt lost, that I was scared of marriage, that I didn't even know if I wanted forever with anyone, not just him. He didn't want to hear it, just kept making sarcastic comments like I was some punchline. I started crying. Not crocodile tears, real, ugly crying. And instead of comforting me, he just packed a bag and left. 11 years together, and he walked out without even trying. Here's what nobody understands. I didn't cheat because I don't love him. I cheated because I was scared, because I wanted to feel something again, because I was drowning in routine and I needed a lifeline. Yes, it was wrong. Yes, I should have talked to him instead of Chris. But does one mistake erase 11 years? Apparently to him, it does. And now the fallout is even worse than the actual breakup. First, his best friend. The second I texted him, my boyfriend had already told this guy everything. Now the friend hates me, calls me trash, blocks me on socials. He never even gave me a chance to explain. Then my parents. When I told them, they freaked. My mom cried, my dad yelled. But eventually, they calmed down. They actually told me maybe we could work it out, that people make mistakes. That's what families do. They see the bigger picture. But his family? Oh no. They hate me now. After 11 years of calling me their future daughter-in-law, I'm suddenly the devil incarnate. His mom wouldn't even answer my text. His dad called me selfish. His sister unfriended me on Facebook. Like, I messed up, but do I really deserve to be completely erased from their lives overnight? And don't even get me started on mutual friends. Half of them are Switzerland. We're not picking sides. The other half are Team him, acting like I'm the worst human alive. One even texted me, "How could you do this to him? He worshipped you." As if I don't already hate myself enough. I tried to reach out to him. I went to his friend's apartment, where he's been crashing. I brought him a box of his stuff. I even baked his favorite cookies. And he wouldn't even talk to me. Just stood there while his friend basically kicked me out like I was a stalker. I begged him. Told him Chris didn't matter. Told him I'd cut all ties. Offered to go to therapy. Literally got on my knees in the hallway and begged. Do you know how humiliating that was? To beg someone to love you again while they just stare at you like you're a stranger? And here's the kicker. He told me it was over. Just like that. 11 years, done. No fight, no second chance, nothing. He said, "You already threw it away." But I didn't. I made a mistake, yes, but I didn't stop loving him. Doesn't that count for something? Now he's ghosting me. Won't answer calls, won't reply to texts, blocked me on half the platforms, and yet I still can't stop reaching out. Because I can't lose him. He's my person, my soulmate, my future. If he really didn't love me anymore, why would he look so hurt when he confronted me? Why would he laugh through tears? People don't react like that unless they care. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I cheated, I admitted it, and now everyone thinks I'm a monster. But I still love him. And I know he still loves me, even if he won't admit it. I just don't know how to fix this. Everyone's turning against me, so I had to tell my side. So, after the confrontation and him walking out, I thought maybe we'd have a cooling off period. Like, he'd stay with his friend for a week, cry it out, then we'd talk and work through it. That's what normal couples do, right? Wrong. He basically went scorched earth. Blocked me, iced me out, and apparently told everyone what happened. His best friend, his family, half our mutual friends. Suddenly, I was public enemy number 1. And look, I know I messed up, but it wasn't as black and white as he's making it. So yeah, I decided I needed to tell my side. First, my family. My mom already knew, and she's been trying to play mediator. Keeps telling me, if he really loved you, he'll come back. My dad, less forgiving. He literally asked, why would you ruin your life like this? Which, thanks, Dad, super helpful. But the worst was his parents. His mom used to call me the daughter she never had. Now, she won't even answer my calls. And his dad? He straight up told me I betrayed the family, like we're in some mafia movie. So I panicked, told them it wasn't that bad, that it was just one kiss. Because honestly, what were they gonna do if I told them the full 3 months? Ban me from Thanksgiving for life? Spoiler, I'm probably already banned. At least if they thought it was just a one-time mistake, maybe they'd go easier on me. Then came the friends. Oh my God, the friends. One texted me, how could you do this to him? He loved you more than anything. Like, thanks, I didn't know that while I was spiraling? Do they think I wanted to blow up my entire life? So I told them the same thing. It was just a kiss, a dumb mistake, a moment of weakness, not a whole affair. And you know what? Some of them actually bought it, started telling me not to be so hard on myself, that long-term relationships get messy, that it happens. Finally, someone on my side. But it wasn't enough, because he's still ghosting me, won't even look at me. So I did what any heartbroken, desperate woman in 2023 would do. I took it to social media. I know. Airing your dirty laundry online is cringe, but I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't just sit there while everyone painted me as this soulless cheater. So I posted a picture of us from prom, him in that baggy suit, me in the blue dress. Captioned it, sometimes we forget what really matters, fighting for us. Soulmates, 11 years strong. Yeah, it was dramatic, but I meant it. Because that's what this is, a fight for us. He doesn't see it right now, but he will. And you know what? People actually responded. His family ignored it, but my family flooded the comments with hearts. My friends shared it. Even some random old coworkers messaged me like, you two are perfect together, don't give up. So at least someone gets it. Of course, his best friend had to ruin it. He commented LOL and got blocked. Petty. But still, I felt like maybe I was starting to control the narrative. Because the truth is, he's not telling people everything. He's not telling them how distant he got, how stressed he was, how he stopped really seeing me. I didn't cheat because I didn't love him. I cheated because I felt unloved. Doesn't that matter? The only wild card in all this is Chris. Because apparently my boyfriend found him online and messaged him. And now Chris is mad at me. Said I lied to him about the relationship being over. Which, okay, fine. Maybe I didn't tell him the full truth. But does it really matter? It was supposed to just be fun, a distraction. I never promised him forever. Now he's ghosting me too. Great. So I've lost my boyfriend and my side thing, and I'm somehow the villain in everyone's story. But here's what none of them see. I still love my boyfriend. Yes, I messed up. Yes, I hurt him. But love isn't perfect. It's messy and complicated, and sometimes people screw up. The difference is, I'm willing to fight for it. I'm willing to own my mistakes and make it right. He's the one running away. He's the one throwing away 11 years without even trying. So tell me, who's really the villain here? He keeps ignoring me, so I had to show him how much I care. Okay, so everyone on my last post called me crazy for trying to win him back after cheating. But let me ask you this. If you loved someone for 11 years, would you really just give up after one fight? After one mistake? No. You'd fight. You'd do whatever it takes. That's all I'm doing. Fighting for us. After the confrontation, he basically vanished, blocked me on half the platforms, stayed at his friend's place, and acted like I was some stranger off the street. I texted, I called, I even emailed. Yes, emailed. Don't judge me. Nothing. So I decided I needed to be proactive. First stop, his friend's apartment. I showed up with a box of his stuff and his favorite cookies. Because I thought, comfort food, nostalgia, maybe we'll sit and talk. Instead, he just stared at me while his best friend practically shoved me out the door like I was some crazy ex-girlfriend stereotype. Which, okay, maybe it looked bad that I cried in the hallway, but what was I supposed to do? Pretend I didn't care? I begged him, told him Chris didn't matter, told him I'd block Chris forever, told him we could do therapy. I was on my knees, literally, and he still said no. Do you know how painful it is to bare your soul to someone and have them look at you like you're garbage? But I didn't give up. Next, I went to his job. Before you freak out, I wasn't trying to get him fired or embarrass him. I just thought, he can't ignore me if I'm standing right there. So I showed up in the lobby, and yes, I cried. Yes, I raised my voice, but only because he wouldn't even look at me. I told him selling the ring meant he'd given up on us, that he was making a mistake. And then security escorted me out, like I was some criminal. Do you know how humiliating it is to be dragged out of the building where the love of your life works, all because you were trying to save your relationship? But humiliation doesn't scare me. Losing him does. The comments on my last post said I'm manipulative and toxic, that I should let him go. But if you knew the history we had, you'd understand why that's impossible. We grew up together. He was there for my first heartbreak, my first job, my first everything. He's not just my boyfriend, he's my family. You don't just walk away from that. So yeah, I made some grand gestures. I posted about us on Facebook, used our prom photo, wrote a heartfelt caption. People loved it. Hearts, comments, shares. Everyone said we were soulmates. And yes, maybe it was a little performative, but he needed to see how much people believe in us, how much we're meant to be. Because if he won't listen to me, maybe he'll listen to them. I know what you're thinking. What about Chris? Look, Chris was never serious. He was an escape, a mistake. I've barely talked to him since the confrontation. He's mad at me because I didn't tell him the full truth, but honestly, I don't care. He's irrelevant. Always was. My boyfriend is the only one who matters. The worst part is the way everyone's treating me, like I'm insane for trying. His parents won't answer me. His sister posted some cryptic tweet about snakes. His best friend blocked me. Even some of our mutual friends are ghosting. But here's the thing. If they were really his friends, they'd want him to be happy. And nobody will ever love him like I do. Not even Chris. Especially not Chris. The other night, I went to his parents' house. Before you say it, yes, I know it sounds bad. But I wasn't trying to intrude. I just wanted to talk. To remind them that I'm still me, that I still love their son. His mom actually let me in, made me tea, pulled out old photo albums. For a moment, it felt like old times, like maybe I still belonged. Then he walked in, the look on his face, pure disgust. He told me to leave, yelled at me in front of his mom, said I couldn't just waltz into his life anymore, and I snapped. I slammed the photo album shut and yelled, "You'll regret this," before storming out. Do I regret saying that? Maybe, but I was hurt. And when you're hurt, sometimes the words just come out. Now he's probably telling everyone I'm crazy again, painting me as the villain. But here's what nobody sees. I wouldn't be acting like this if I didn't love him, if I didn't care, If I didn't believe deep down that we're meant to be. Yes, I made a mistake. But he's making a bigger one, throwing us away without even trying. So call me unhinged, call me manipulative, call me whatever you want. I don't care. Because I know the truth. We're soulmates. And soulmates don't just disappear. I tried everything to prove I loved him, but he made me look crazy. So apparently, no matter what I do, he's decided to make me out to be this psycho ex-girlfriend who can't let go. And honestly, it's unfair. Because if you really loved someone, wouldn't you try everything too? That's all I'm doing. Trying everything. After the whole parents' house disaster, see last post, I figured maybe it was time to back off. Give him space, let things cool down. But then I saw pictures of him out with friends at a bar on Instagram, smiling, laughing, drinking, like nothing happened. Do you know what it feels like to see the love of your life act like you never even existed? To scroll, and it's like the last 11 years of your life meant nothing to him? I couldn't take it. So I went to the bar. Before you say it, no, I wasn't stalking. I just happened to know the place because it's the same bar our friends always go to. If anything, I had just as much right to be there as him. I walked in with Chris. Yes, I know, Chris. Don't start. He begged me to come, said I needed to get out of the house, that I shouldn't let my ex control the narrative. He said people were talking, that I had to show my face. So fine. I went with him. The second I walked in, the room went dead quiet. Everyone was staring at me like I'd walked into my own funeral. And then I saw him, my boyfriend, well, ex-boyfriend, across the room with his friends, laughing, until he saw me. Then he just froze. My heart stopped. It was like the whole world collapsed into that moment. And then I did something impulsive. I walked straight over to him, left Chris standing there like a dumb statue, and I hugged my ex, because that's what my body wanted. That's what my heart wanted. I said, I miss you. And the entire bar gasped. Literally gasped, like we were in a soap opera. He shoved me off, looked at me like I was dirt, said, Are you kidding me right now? I said, You'll always be the love of my life. Because it's true. And instead of softening, instead of even acknowledging 11 years together, he humiliated me. Loudly, in front of everyone, said I cheated, said I tongue-wrestled Chris for 3 months, said I was embarrassing myself. People laughed, people clapped. I wanted the floor to swallow me whole. Chris was pissed. He stormed out, left me standing there with mascara running down my face. And I just kept thinking, why does nobody see how much I'm fighting for him? If the roles were reversed, if he cheated and begged me to forgive him, I would've. I know I would've. Because when you love someone, you don't give up at the first mistake. But apparently, his love wasn't strong enough. The next day, I woke up to texts. From his best friend, you need help. From a mutual friend. That was humiliating to watch. From my mom, honey, maybe it's time to let go. Even my mom turned on me. And then I found out he blocked me on everything. Phone, socials, even LinkedIn. Who blocks someone on LinkedIn? So I had no way of reaching him anymore. No way of proving I still cared. That's when I realized, if I can't get through to him, maybe I can get through to everyone else. So I leaned into it. Started telling people I was worried about him. That he wasn't eating, that he wasn't sleeping, that he was isolating himself. Which, okay, wasn't completely untrue. He is isolating. He is spiraling. But I wasn't saying it to be malicious. I was saying it because I was concerned. But of course he twisted that too. Told people I was using his mental health as a prop. Like, sorry for caring? Here's the part nobody's going to believe. I never wanted any of this. I didn't cheat because I wanted to hurt him. I didn't beg because I wanted to humiliate myself. I didn't post on Facebook because I wanted attention. I did all of it because I love him. Because I know we're meant to be. Because I couldn't just watch 11 years go up in smoke without fighting for us. And maybe I went too far. Maybe I looked crazy. But isn't crazy just another word for passion? Chris dumped me after the bar scene. Texted me the next day saying he can't be involved in my drama. Good. He was never important anyway. But losing Chris doesn't hurt. Losing him hurts. Watching him erase me from his life hurts. I still believe he loves me. I saw it in his eyes that night at the bar. He was angry, yes, but anger comes from pain, and pain comes from love. If he truly didn't care, he would have just ignored me. So yeah, call me manipulative, call me unstable, call me whatever you want. But I know the truth. I loved him enough to fight. He's the one who walked away. I lost both of them. And maybe myself too. I don't even know how to start this one. Part of me feels like I should just delete these posts and crawl into a hole forever, but the other part of me still wants people to understand. To see that I wasn't just some cartoon villain out to ruin lives. I loved him. I still do. And that love has turned me into someone I don't even recognize. After the bar fiasco, Chris dumped me. For real this time. He texted me. I didn't sign up for this drama. You lied to me about your relationship being over. I can't do this anymore. And then he blocked me. Which, fine. I didn't even care that much. Chris was never the point. Chris was filler, a distraction, a way to feel something when I felt numb. Losing him didn't matter. Losing my boyfriend mattered. And losing him was exactly what was happening. He cut me out completely. No calls, no texts, no emails. Even blocked me on LinkedIn, which, yes, still hurts. It was like I'd died to him. But here's the thing. I know he still loves me. I know it. You don't just erase 11 years of history overnight. You don't just throw away growing up together, surviving college, moving in together, dreaming of a future. So I told myself, I just need one more chance. One more moment to remind him of what we had. That chance came at my cousin's wedding. Now, before you say it, yes, I know weddings aren't about me. Yes, I know hijacking someone else's big day is insane. But my cousin invited both of us, and I thought, maybe fate was handing me the perfect setting. Love, vows, forever. Maybe it would trigger something in him. So I went, dressed up, put on makeup, tried to look like the girl he fell in love with at 16. He was there, looking good, of course, standing with his family, who all gave me death stares. But I didn't care. My eyes were on him. The ceremony passed, the reception started, and then came the toasts. Maid of honor spoke. Best man spoke. Everyone clinked glasses. And then, before I even realized what I was doing, I was on my feet. Microphone in hand. I said, I just want to say something. The room went silent. Every head turned. And I poured my heart out. I said love is complicated, that people make mistakes, that true love always finds its way back. I said I still loved him, that I always would. And then I looked right at him, in front of everyone, and said, you'll always be my person. For a split second, I thought it worked. I thought he'd soften, that maybe he'd remember the prom night we danced, or the nights we stayed up watching dumb movies, or the way we used to say we'd be forever. But instead, he grabbed the mic from me, and he destroyed me. He said, you don't get to hijack my cousin's wedding to rewrite history. You cheated. For 3 months. With Chris, who, by the way, just dumped you. So please, for the love of God, sit down and stop embarrassing yourself. People gasped. People laughed. Someone even clapped. And I broke. I dropped the mic, burst into tears, and ran out of the room. Again. Always running. That was the moment I realized I'd lost. Not just him, not just Chris, myself. Because who was that girl at the wedding? The one crying in front of 200 people, begging for scraps of love from someone who hated her now? That wasn't me. That wasn't the girl he fell in love with. That wasn't even the girl Chris kissed in a parking lot. That was a stranger. A desperate, broken stranger. After the wedding, I went quiet. Stopped texting, stopped calling, stopped posting. Not because I stopped loving him. I'll never stop. But because I realized nothing I did was going to fix it. Every grand gesture, every post, every plea just pushed him further away. Made me look crazier. And maybe I am crazy. Crazy for thinking I could cheat and not destroy everything. Crazy for thinking I could juggle 2 lives. Crazy for thinking he'd forgive me just because we had history. History doesn't protect you. History doesn't erase betrayal. The last thing I heard about him was that he sold the ring. The ring I didn't even know he bought. That gutted me, because it meant he really was going to propose. That despite everything, he still saw a forever with me. And I threw it away for Chris. For nothing. So, yeah, that's the breaking point. I lost Chris. I lost him. I lost my family-in-law, my friends, my dignity. All because I wanted to feel a spark. People keep telling me I need to move on, that I need to work on myself, that I need to stop living in the past. But how do you move on from someone who is your past, and your present, and your future? I don't know if I ever will. 6 months later, I lost everything, but maybe it's not over. It's been 6 months since everything blew up. 6 months since the spaghetti fight, the bar scene, the wedding humiliation, Chris dumping me, all of it. And I wish I could say I've moved on, that I found peace, or closure, or whatever word therapists love to use. But if I'm being honest, I'm stuck. Let me start with the obvious. He's gone. For real this time. He hasn't spoken to me in months. Blocked on every platform, including email. Yes, I tried. I even made a Finsta just to see if he'd follow back. He didn't. From what I've heard through mutual friends, he's doing better. Therapy, gym, new hobbies. Someone told me he even went on a date, and that shattered me. Because the idea of him laughing with someone else, holding someone else's hand, making someone else's spaghetti, probably better than mine, it makes me physically sick. As for me, my life is unrecognizable. Chris is gone. He blocked me after the wedding and moved on like I was a bad dream. Last I heard, he's dating some yoga teacher. Good for him, I guess. My family still loves me, but they don't look at me the same. My mom keeps saying, "This was your wake-up call." My dad won't even bring him up. My little brother told me I was selfish. And maybe I was. His family? Dead silent. His mom unfriended me, his sister blocked me, his dad wouldn't even look at me when we ran into each other at the grocery store. Do you know how humiliating it is to pass someone in the frozen food aisle and have them act like you're invisible? And friends? Well, that's complicated. Some stuck around, the ones who bought my "it was just a kiss" version. They're supportive in that surface level, we don't judge you way, but I see it in their eyes. They don't trust me anymore. The others? Gone, blocked, ghosted, disappeared. People I thought were lifelong friends vanished the second the story came out, which leaves me here, alone. I've been trying to work on myself. I started journaling, joined a yoga class, even downloaded a meditation app. None of it helps, because at the end of the day, all I can think about is him, the way he laughed when we were kids, the way he looked at me on our first date, the way he held me after my first panic attack. And yes, even the way he looked at me when he confronted me, furious, broken, devastated. Because even in that moment, he still felt something. Hate, maybe. But hate is just love with its heart ripped out. Do I regret cheating? Yes, every single day. Do I wish I could take it back? Of course. But here's the part I'll never admit out loud. A small, selfish part of me still doesn't regret Chris. Because if not for Chris, I wouldn't have realized how much I wanted my boyfriend, how much I needed him, how much he was my everything. Sometimes you only know the value of what you have when you risk losing it. And I lost it. I think about the ring a lot. The one he sold. The one I never even saw. I picture it sometimes, him holding it in his hand, rehearsing how he'd propose. Him smiling, maybe nervous, maybe excited. And me saying yes. That's the future we were supposed to have. The one I threw away. And knowing that I'll never get that back? It's like living with a ghost. Everyone tells me to move on. Time heals. You'll find someone else. You're still young. But they don't get it. I don't want someone else. I don't want time. I don't want healing. I want him. Because no one else will ever know me the way he did. No one else will ever love me through all my mess. No one else will ever be my person. And maybe he doesn't believe that anymore. Maybe he's convinced himself he's over me. But I know the truth. You don't walk away from 11 years and never look back. So where does that leave me? Alone? Yeah. Regretful? Definitely. Broken? Absolutely. But also, hopeful. Because maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not even next year. But someday, he'll remember. He'll remember the girl he slow danced with at prom, the girl who made him laugh until he cried, the girl who was his first everything. And maybe, just maybe, he'll realize that kind of love doesn't just die. Call me delusional, call me manipulative, call me a cheater. You're not wrong. But I'll always believe he still loves me, and I'll always be waiting. If you like these stories and videos, make sure to like, comment, and share so we can make some money from ad revenue and continue getting better and better with our publications. We strive to donate a portion of everything we make to charities that make a difference. Let us know if there is someone or thing you want to support. Thank you for staying until the end and enjoying the story.